News break just coming in. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra has reached 10 Janpath in Delhi to meet Sonia Gandhi. Meanwhile, Congress leader Jitin Prasada has tweeted in support of Sachin Pilot. He said, and I quote, Sachin Pilot is not just a colleague but my friend. No one can take away the fact that all these years he worked with dedication for the party. Sincerely hope the situation can still be salvaged. Sad it has come to this, unquote. So Congress leader Jitendra Prasad has tweeted in support of Pilot. Rajdeep Sardesai is now joining us. My senior colleague joins us to give us a better perspective on all that is going on. Rajdeep, I'm going to throw straight across to you. Priyanka Gandhi has reached 10 Janpath in Delhi to meet Sonia Gandhi. This is a top-level huddle going on in the Congress High Command as well. In the light of these developments, how do you view this development?
Look, while Chaiti, there are going to be attempts even now being made to try and retrieve the situation, it seems to me that it's reached the point of no return. With the action and what Ashok Gehlot has now said, virtually linking Sachin Pilot to an alleged conspiracy by the BJP to topple the government, it seems that the two sides have decided to part ways. Sachin Pilot is left therefore with very few options apart from trying to wean away sufficient number of MLAs to bring down the Gehlot government. He seems to have a single point agenda now, bring down the Gehlot government, then we'll see what happens next. On the part of Ashok Gehlot, he's counting on the fact that he has a lot of IOUs within Rajasthan, that a number of MLAs owe allegiance to him, and he can win a numbers game in the floor test. But it will be touch and go, and I don't think that the Congress leadership now is in any mood to placate Sachin Pilot. Despite what you said, Jitin Prasad and others have said, I don't think that the Congress leadership is in any mood to placate Sachin Pilot. They believe he had already begun negotiations with the BJP. But it is significant, Chaiti, that the likes of Jitin Prasad are coming out in some form, at least offering sympathy to Sachin Pilot, because there is a view that if Mr. Pilot is able to at some stage win this battle in Rajasthan, then he could become a catalyst for all those within the Congress who feel today that there is a need for the old guard to be replaced by a new lot of leaders. But that's for the future. For now, it's very clear Sachin Pilot has really two options before him, Chaiti. One is he forms a regional party and takes the BJP support and tries to bring down the Gehlot government. The other is that he, like Jyotiraditya Scindia, decides to formally join the BJP along with his supporters and brings down the Gehlot government. Which option will he take? Will he take the Jagan Reddy kind of model, split the party or form his own party and then join hands in some way to bring down the Gehlot government, or will he join the BJP? At the moment, all indications are that Sachin Pilot wants to first get those 30 MLAs to commit to him, then get the BJP support and then bring down the Gehlot government. So for now, he's looking at a short-term, one-point agenda of bringing down the Gehlot government. The Congress leadership, on the other hand, seems to have decided to part ways with Sachin Pilot in the belief that he was already negotiating with the BJP and was only buying time.
And Rajdeep, there seems to be now too much water under the bridge as well. After all of this and putting his entire political career at stake and staging this particular coup as well, going back to the Congress party would never be the same again for Sachin Pilot. So in all likelihood, can we now presume, or is it too early to presume, that Sachin Pilot now completely out of the Congress party? Only two options, like you mentioned: either he goes his own way, forms his own political party, he takes down that other route like Y.S. Jagannath Reddy did, or it's going to be the fact that he joins the BJP like Scindia did.
Absolutely. I don't think Sachin Pilot can now immediately return to the Congress. When Ashok Gehlot publicly said a short while ago that Sachin Pilot was part of a conspiracy to bring down his government with the BJP, I think the lines were drawn there. I think the Congress waited for 48 hours. There were attempts made to reach out to Mr. Pilot. I know that Priyanka Gandhi Vadra spoke a couple of times, but Pilot had one non-negotiable issue, which was the leadership of the Rajasthan unit. He wanted Gehlot out. The Congress leadership, on the other hand, also was unwilling to negotiate on that critical issue of leadership. They were willing to oblige Mr. Pilot in other ways, but not when it came to the leadership of Ashok Gehlot. And because Ashok Gehlot was able to have that show of strength yesterday, I think the Congress has taken a bit of a gamble here by taking on Sachin Pilot and risking a Gen Next leader, someone with an appeal beyond Rajasthan to leave the party. It will reflect perhaps on the conflict management skills of the Congress leadership, but let's also be honest, this has been a battle playing out between Gehlot and Pilot for the last 18 months. It was bound to happen sooner or later.
Absolutely. Stay on right there with me, Rajdeep. Rahul Srivastava, our National Affairs Editor, is also joining us. Rahul, if you could just give us a sense of the numbers as to how they look at the moment, because a lot of this would depend on where the numbers stand, really.
Jesse, could you please repeat the question?
Rahul, I was saying that a lot of this would now depend on where the numbers really stand. What is the kind of support that Sachin Pilot has been able to garner for himself? What is the kind of support that Ashok Gehlot has also managed to garner for himself? Because there are some conflicting claims that are coming in. Sachin Pilot's camp claiming a different set of numbers than what the numbers seem to not be adding up. At the moment, from your sources, what are you picking up in terms of the numbers?
Jesse, before I answer the question, I have got the first reaction from the Sachin Pilot camp to the action announced by the Congress party. What they are saying is that Pilot or the MLAs loyal to him have not spoken out against the party at any public platform. And what they are indicating is that it is because of this, the action taken, announced against them is unfounded. They don't have a very strong basis. What they are saying that they had flagged certain issues like the SOG notice involving sedition and conspiracy charge against Sachin Pilot, and that is what was the basic ground. It was a notice sent by the police, which is under the Chief Minister, and that is why the issue had to be dealt by somebody in the Congress party of the stature of Sonia Gandhi or Rahul Gandhi, and there has been no attempt by them till now to contact Sachin Pilot. Specifically, they are mentioning. Then they are saying that in an issue which is against the Chief Minister, how can local functionaries of the Rajasthan government be made the interlocutors? What they are saying is that Pilot will be discussing the Congress party's action against him and two other ministers, along with the MLAs who are loyal to him, and the reports of Sachin Pilot joining the BJP earlier and right now being floated are totally unfounded. This is the first reaction from the Sachin Pilot camp, which is camping in Delhi, NCR region, over the action taken by the Congress party. Now, coming to the bigger...
Isn't it very tough to believe that the Congress High Command made no attempt to get in touch with Sachin Pilot?
You see, Chetty, in a situation like this, one has to always put a rider that these are claims and counterclaims in politics. Now, one thing that we can make of is that while there is a segment saying that Sachin Pilot camp is saying that there has been no conversation between the top brass, that is the first family of the first Gandhi family in Congress, and Sachin Pilot. On the other hand, there are claims that Priyanka Gandhi has spoken to Sachin Pilot. Remember one thing, that Randeep Singh Surjewala, when he announced the ouster of Sachin Pilot from two posts that he was holding, has said that neither Sonia Gandhi and under Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi's guidance, leaders tried to speak to Sachin Pilot but could not happen. Some local leaders have spoken to him and he was unrelenting. So the Congress party in its official statement has not mentioned Priyanka Gandhi. So we have to deal with right now claims and counterclaims on the very issue that nobody from Congress first family has spoken to Sachin Pilot. The fact remains here is that there are few choices the Congress had to make. The Congress had to make a choice between a rapprochement or saving the government in Rajasthan. It had to make a choice between Gehlot, who wants Sachin Pilot out, or Sachin Pilot, who wants Ashok Gehlot out. It has chosen to save the government. It has chosen to back Ashok Gehlot. It has, if it had to be dealt, see, when a leader makes a complaint against the Chief Minister, it can't be dealt by lower level general secretaries and others. The party president or somebody has to step in. The indication is till now they are dealing through emissaries. No direct dealing has happened. Now, in that scenario, it seems very clear that Sachin Pilot has certain numbers which may not bring down the government instantly. Say, for example, if he has 12 to 18 MLAs. Remember, these are Congress MLAs. Now, if Congress's strength, which is 105 something, is reduced by 18 or 15 odd MLAs, the Congress dependence on the independents and the alliance partner goes up. Independents are the most pliable commodity in this country. They are open to inducement. So once Sachin Pilot moves out, the Gehlot government will be very vulnerable. Also, a party called the Bharatiya Tribal Party with 2 MLAs has already announced that it is going to be equidistant. One of its MLAs complaining he is being held captive by police. So we have a drama in which Ashok Gehlot government is very dependent. Interestingly, one point more I would like to make, that yesterday a booking for 119 MLAs was made in the Fairmont Hotel. Coincidentally, since 9:30 yesterday, there was an IT raid going on in that hotel.
Right.
Now,
Rahul, hold on to your thought right there. Anand Patel is joining us. He's reporting from Sachin Pilot's house as well. Anand, at this point of time, what is the kind of reaction that we're picking up from the BJP? Because until yesterday, you had the BJP sitting in the silos, very distant from the developments. But today, things are very different. It looks like they've jumped in.
Well, yes, the BJP sees an opportunity in this entire fiasco which is happening in the Rajasthan government in Congress's own house. Clearly, we've seen how the BJP has been backing this entire rebellion led by Sachin Pilot. His rebellious MLAs are lodged in a hotel in Gurgaon, where there's a BJP government. There were IT raids which were conducted yesterday against 2 of the people very close to Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot, who are money bags, clearly trying to prevent and send across a message to the others, in a scenario if there's a exchange of money or horse trading. So BJP has been watching this entire, rebellion playing out very closely. And what we are told is that Sachin Pilot had been hobnobbing with the BJP, and that is the reason why the High Command had been warning him again and again that stop hobnobbing with the BJP, take out your MLAs from the BJP hotel. But he didn't heed to those warnings, and that is the reason why he had been punished. But the larger message here is, Chaiti, that the Congress leadership has chosen to remove only 3 top people. Sachin Pilot as Deputy CM and the 2 of his ministers very close to him. The MLAs have been left aside so far. This is a very, strategic play by the Congress leadership to try and send across a message to the MLAs that, look, what has been happening so far, only the posts have gone. If you want to save your MLA-ship, if you want to save your membership in the legislature, you better go back to the bigger flock.
But hold on. Let me also bring in Rahul Srivastav. Rahul, from the looks of it and the first reactions that we're picking up from the Bharatiya Janata Party as well, slowly it now is looking like from Pilot versus Gehlot, this is soon going to be turning into a Congress versus BJP yet again. What is the sense that you're picking up? Is the entire script that was played out in Madhya Pradesh here for a deja vu?
Chetty, the situation between Madhya Pradesh and this is very different. One, the number gap between Ashok Gehlot and the BJP is high. Second, in induction of Sachin Pilot or somebody like that into BJP will be difficult because there is a Vasundhara Raje Scindia, and that's why very clearly the Sachin Pilot camp has been maintaining that they don't want to join the BJP. There is no plan to do that. Remember one very important factor here. Why is there no action against the MLAs? The BJP is wooing after the Congress acted against him. The BJP is sending out strong signals. What it is trying to indicate that from the limited liability operations earlier in which BJP was not showing its hand, then the IT raids and the ED moved in. Now Om Mathur, senior Rajasthan BJP leader, saying that our doors are open. What it is trying to show is, it is giving that there is a sizable vote that Sachin Pilot enjoys in Rajasthan. There are a sizable number of MLAs. BJP is trying to show that in a moment of distress, when you are being abandoned by your party and kicked out of your party, the BJP is there to help you out. It's more of a kind of a comfort zone the BJP is offering.
Okay, we're getting this big breaking story that is coming in at the moment. Rahul, I'm sorry about this interruption. What I'm picking up at the moment is that Sachin Pilot is going to be issuing a formal statement tomorrow. All eyes are going to be on that statement that is coming out from Sachin Pilot. Rahul, this is a big development that is coming in. Pilot is going to be issuing a statement, but we do have the first reaction of the Sachin Pilot camp that was coming in as well. Source-based information nevertheless coming in. You're getting us that reaction as well. If you could walk our viewers through it, and the fact that tomorrow we'll know what the official stance of Sachin Pilot is in the middle of all of this, because it seems like from what we're picking up, he is saying that I have never spoken against his fight has always been against Gehlot, and his stand has been conveyed to the party, the appropriate forum, and issues flagged by him were against the chief minister, and no top leader has gone ahead and made the effort to talk to him, is what his stance at the moment is, what we're picking up from sources. But all eyes are going to be tomorrow on the big statement that he issues.
Yes, I'm told by, I've spoken to people close to Sachin Pilot, and what they are saying that they will all be discussing the issue, and there will be no knee-jerk reaction to what has happened, and they will continue presenting their stand, which is not against the party. But the fact remains is that there is likelihood of a statement only after they have strategized among themselves. What I was trying to say is that why no action has been taken against the MLAs who are loyal to Sachin Pilot, because these are Congress MLAs. If the Congress acts against them, expels them from the party, what will happen? That they will eventually remain MLAs. And if they remain MLAs, the Congress number goes down, the Congress's dependence on independence will go up, and the Congress government will be vulnerable in future. And that is why the Congress will keep its umbilical cord with these MLAs, so that in case need be in future, they can move the anti-defection law in the assembly against these people and utilize that situation. But what one can say is things seems to have reached a point of breaking as far as Rajasthan is concerned. Sachin Pilot will find it extremely untenable to go back to the Congress party at this moment, especially after he was removed from two posts and the Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot came out and made a vitriolic attack against Sachin Pilot. After that, I think Gehlot has become more entrenched in his seat and position, while Sachin's position in the party has become untenable.
Seems to be very clear now, Rahul, from the first up reaction that we're picking up from sources from the Sachin Pilot camp as well, that at the moment he's in no mood to join the Bharatiya Janata Party. But, you know, and there are lots of conspiracies around this doing the rounds. Many political stalwarts saying that he could not have done this without the blessings of the BJP. This takes a lot of guts, and unless and until you have numbers on your side, you will not put your political career at stake and make a move like this.
Yes, see, Chetty, we have noticed that BJP is an extremely fierce adversary. Wherever the BJP has found a little gap or a divide or a 1 inch gap between two leaders like, say, Jyotiraditya Scindia and Kamal Nath, or say even in Karnataka, the BJP has pried open that gap and made it a valley. And that's what the BJP is fishing for. The BJP's Congress Mukt Bharat is not a slogan in idle. The BJP is implementing it. So the BJP definitely is very interested, has been very interested in the divide between Gehlot and Sachin Pilot. But it is also a responsibility somewhere of the top leadership of the Congress that this gap gets bridged. You can't put band-aids over such friction between two top leaders. Sachin Pilot, nearly 15 days back, had complained to people like Ahmed Patel that in the last 1.5 years, he has not been allowed to inaugurate anything as a PWD minister. He's not involved in larger decisions or larger functions of the state government. 400 crore worth of ad has been released, and
Absolutely.
He has a picture is nowhere. So there was a sense of complaint for a very long time.
Right. Hold on that thought right there, Rahul. Coming back to you on a better perspective on all that is transpiring for our viewers who have just tuned in. Let's get you the top developments on what is going on in Rajasthan at the moment. This political infighting and the circus prevails in Rajasthan. The Gehlot camp prevails. Congress sacked Sachin Pilot as the Deputy Chief Minister and the President of Rajasthan Congress unit. Pilot goes on to say that truth cannot be defeated. These are the top developments that we're bringing at the moment. Shortly after sacking Sachin Pilot, Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot met State Governor Kalraj Mishra. The meeting took place at Raj Bhawan, and it is believed that Gehlot briefed the governor on the sacking of Pilot. Sachin Pilot's loyalist And two cabinet ministers, Vishvendra Singh and Ramesh, Meena, have also been sacked from their posts. That's the other big development that we're tracking and bringing to you at the moment. Congress party has now accused the Bharatiya Janata Party of attempting to topple its government in Rajasthan. They've said that Sachin Pilot and his associates have fallen into the trap of the Saffron Party and are camping at Gurugram Resort under the watch of Manohar Lal Khattar government. These are the top developments. Minutes before sacking, Pilot camp issues an official statement claiming that they are not clamoring for any post or positions. Instead, they want dignity and they want self-respect. These are the top developments we're bringing as far as all that has happened in Rajasthan. Let's also get you all the political reactions that were playing out.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी जो षड्यंत्र कर रही थी, लेकिन आगाह मैंने कई बार किया कि षड्यंत्र बहुत बड़ा षड्यंत्र है, हॉर्स ट्रेडिंग का षड्यंत्र है और उसमें हमारे किसी नेता को ट्रैप में नहीं आना चाहिए। ये पिछले 6 महीने से षड्यंत्र चल रहा था और हम सबको जानकारी थी कि ये षड्यंत्र बहुत बड़ा है, हॉर्स ट्रेडिंग हो रही है। हमारे कुछ साथी गुमराह होकर के चले गए दिल्ली के अंदर और बीजेपी के मंसूबे पूरे नहीं हुए। उन्होंने जो कुछ भी खेल खेला था दलबल के आधार पर, जैसे कर्नाटका के अंदर, मध्य प्रदेश के अंदर, राजस्थान, वही करना चाहते थे वो लोग। आज जो खेल उन्होंने खेला है 2-3 दिन से, आप बताइए 122 लोग हमारे पास में हैं, 107 कांग्रेस के हैं। आप समझ सकते 2-3 कितने होते हैं। तो इन्होंने क्यों ये खेल खेला? और आप ब्लैकमेल कर रहे हो। आप असेंबली के अंदर फ्लोर टेस्ट होना चाहिए कह रहे हैं, कल मैं सुन रहा हूँ। उनमें इतना तो भगवान ने बुद्धि दी है कि कांग्रेस का कोई एमएलए ये मांग कभी नहीं कर सकता। वो ये कह सकता है विधायक दल की मीटिंग बुलाओ, कांग्रेस विधायक दल की मीटिंग बुलाओ, हमारा विश्वास नहीं है मुख्यमंत्री पर, वह हम अपनी बात कहेंगे। अगर बहुमत साथ नहीं होगा मुख्यमंत्री का तो उनको इस्तीफा देना पड़ेगा। ये मांग करना तो वाजिब मांग होती है। अपनी पार्टी की विधायक दल की बैठक के अंदर हाईकमान का ऑब्जर्वर आता है, सबकी बात सुनता है, फिर फैसला करता है। ये कहाँ लिखा हुआ है कि आप विधायक विधानसभा में मांग कर रहे हैं? इसका मतलब क्या है कि बीजेपी के सहयोग से हम सरकार गिराएंगे। इसका मतलब सुप्रीम कोर्ट का आदेश स्पष्ट है, जिसकी मंशा हो जाती है मुझे मेरी पार्टी के खिलाफ में जाना है, उसकी मेंबरशिप खत्म हो जाती है।
बड़े दुखी मन से और खेद से कांग्रेस पार्टी ने कुछ निर्णय लिए हैं जिनकी व्याख्या करने के लिए बीच में आपके मैं उपस्थित हूं। पहली बात, श्री सचिन पायलट जी को, श्री विश्वेंद्र सिंह जी को और मीना जी और श्री रमेश मीना जी को उप मुख्यमंत्री और मंत्री पद के भार से फौरी तौर से मुक्त किया जाता है। कांग्रेस नेतृत्व ने खुले मन से सारे दरवाजे खोलकर कहा, परिवार का सदस्य अगर रास्ता भटक जाए, सुबह का भूला अगर शाम को घर वापस आ जाए, शाम का भूला अगर आज सुबह भी घर वापस आ जाए तो वो भूला नहीं कहलाता, वो परिवार का सदस्य है। पूरी बात सुनी जाएगी, हर बात का हल निकाला जाएगा। पर मुझे खेद है कि श्री सचिन पायलट और कुछ उनके मंत्री साथी वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के षड्यंत्र में भटक कर कांग्रेस पार्टी की जनता के द्वारा चुनी गई 8 करोड़ राजस्थानियों के द्वारा चुनी गई सरकार को गिराने का षड्यंत्र और साजिश कर रहे हैं। ये अस्वीकार्य है।
The key to all of this lies in the numbers. Let's walk you through what the numbers look like. The assembly's strength is 200 in Rajasthan, so the halfway mark becomes 101. The majority comes at 101. The Congress has 107 MLAs, out of which 6 are from the BSP. Allies are 5. and independents are 10, a total of 122 MLAs. The BJP has 72 MLAs, as you can see on your screens at the moment. RLP 3 and total 75. Independent MLAs are 3. There you go. You can see the numbers on your screens. But the numbers in Rajasthan now hold the key, as we're saying time and again. Yesterday, Chief Minister Gehlot claimed the support of 109 MLAs. He also flashed that victory sign after the meeting at his residence. If you remember, when those 4 luxury buses were leaving from his residence going to the Fairmont Hotel, you saw all those MLAs showing that victory sign across as well to all the media, which was camped outside his house. Pilot camp had 12 to 17 MLAs, but within 24 hours, the entire situation seems to have become a little tough for the Ashok Gehlot government and the faction. India Today has now learned that 86 Gehlot camp MLAs are at the Fairmont Hotel in Jaipur. Sachin Pilot is claiming that he has 22 to 30 MLAs. Now, if Pilot manages over 25 MLAs, the Gehlot government is going to be in serious trouble, and it's going to be game on Sachin Pilot in that particular case. The total strength of the Rajasthan Assembly, as we just showed you through that chart as well, is 200. The majority mark stands at 101.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.